So we proudly present, as we do every Wednesday at this time, Ask the Lawyer with Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. I'll tell you how to submit a question. If you have a legal question for a future program, if you'd like to, in just a quick moment. But first, please help me welcome Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, Todd. How are you doing this morning?
Excellent. And how's the new year treating you?
The New Year's treating me very well, thank you.
Good. Glad to hear it. We rely on you on these Wednesdays, and I know you're a busy guy, to give us a little bit of your time and take on somebody's difficulty with the law, kind of explain it a little bit better, see if we can't make some sense out of it. And another unfortunate sexual assault situation. And, we're back-to-back last week and this week. I'm starting to think this is still a growing problem. Are you getting that sense as well?
Yeah, it's a terrible problem, and fortunately, the legislature is trying to pass some new legislation to help that problem.
Oh, good. And anything we can do to chip away at this would be, I'm sure, good news. All right, why don't we just go ahead and get into the question? And again, I turn to you for compassion in these situations. You always have such a compassionate touch. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, the email says, my daughter attending school in Sarasota was sexually assaulted by a maintenance staff member at the apartment complex. It turns out the maintenance person who was hired by the complex had a previous sexual assault conviction in Orlando 2 years earlier. The maintenance person had a master key and could access her apartment when her roommates were away over the weekend. My daughter is devastated and will need logical therapy to deal with the trauma for a long time. We wanted to sue the apartment complex, but we were unsure if hiring a lawyer in Sarasota was necessary. Can you ask your lawyer friend who we should contact? And shouldn't there be better laws to protect apartment renters? And it sounds, again, like the legislature is working on that last question. But what do you make of this situation, Bruce?
Well, let's address the legislature first. The legislature has proposed a law called Maya's Law. Mm-hmm. It's requiring, if it's passed, that the apartment complexes do a much better background check.
Oh.
And that they limit the people that they give master keys to, which would prevent this situation.
I see.
As far as this young lady is concerned, I don't think there's anything worse that could happen to a young lady. The apartment would be responsible because they should never have hired someone in that position with a previous sexual incident that he was involved in.
Right.
So the apartment complex really wasn't on its toes and could have prevented this situation.
Right.
As far as hiring a lawyer, our firm has handled a lot of similar cases. Mm-hmm. And, the firm doesn't need to be in the city where the event occurred.
Okay.
We're in Fort Myers. We handle cases from Key West to Jacksonville to the Panhandle. We're fortunate we have our own airplane, so when we need to, we travel wherever we need to go. Mm-hmm. But we handle cases all around the state, and, we love to help victims like this because it has a horrible effect on the rest of their lives.
Oh, it certainly does. And you happen upon an important point, I think. It's not so important to worry about the county or municipality from which the lawyer comes, but really the amount of experience that lawyer or law firm has with this type of case.
Exactly.
All right.
You're 100% correct.
Also, it occurs to me, and I know you've already pointed this out, the apartment complex obviously dropped the ball in doing a background check. And I'm not sure if everybody knows, but there are different levels of background checks that can be performed, from something very basic, your credit, for example, and then something very invasive, where they find out absolutely everything about you. The difference is how much it costs the business to run that investigation. And I'm sure this was a cost-cutting measure, in my mind anyway.
I think you're absolutely right. That the apartment complex was looking to save money in the wrong place.
Yeah. because enough digging would have turned up this. And again, we're talking about a conviction, a sexual assault conviction in Orlando that would have shown up, and hopefully they would have made the right decision to pass on that particular employee.
That would have been very good if they did.
Yeah. And no doubt about it, she will need that therapy for a long time, but getting the right law firm can make that process a lot easier. And you really do need compassion in moments like this. Bruce, thank you again so much for sharing your insight and your vast experience on these matters with us.
Well, thank you for presenting such an interesting question. We always look forward to helping.
Bruce, say hi to the family for me, and please have a good week. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Okay, thank you, Todd.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured, and our question of the week, as unpleasant as it is. Nonetheless, hopefully some better times are coming with the right kind of compensation. Now, if you have a question about the law you'd like to submit, simply go to the website and type in the keyword Bruce in the search box. You'll land at the right place to enter your question and give us all the information that you can. And if you have a more immediate situation, I mean, let's say something like this that really requires quick attention, you can always call the Port Charlotte office of Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates, 941-743-7777. 941-743-7777. And tell them that Todd sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.